Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Ashley,
I'm Riley Doheny.
And I'm Lexi Zammer.
and today we're going to be talking about sleeping your way to a healthier life. So to start off with our objectives, our cognitive objective is by the end of the lesson, the group of 30 students will identify and justify their understanding of at least 3 good sleep hygiene practices related to achieving sufficient sleep, as well as 3 strategies to help decrease the risk of poor sleep by selecting the correct multiple choice questions on the post-test with 80% accuracy. Our effective objective is following an open discussion. The students will be able to verbally justify which sleep intervention strategy he or she believes would be the best choice to help achieve the recommended number of hours of sleep per night and why. And lastly, our psychomotor objective is by the end of the lesson, the 30 students will demonstrate their understanding of the importance of achieving the recommended number of hours of sleep per night, as well as the strategies to achieve sufficient sleep per night by creating and writing down at least 5 actions they should perform in their nighttime routine. Also, they will be able to identify and write down at least 3 actions they should try and limit from their nighttime routines. Okay, so before we get started, about 2 weeks ago now, we had your teachers send you home with something called the sleep journal assignment. So basically in this assignment, we asked you to provide and list a few actions you take each night before going to bed, like do you take a shower, do you watch TV, read a book, etc. And then we also asked when you woke up each morning to document the number of hours of sleep you got that night. And then prior to going to bed each night, just document how you felt throughout the day. So did you feel tired? Were you run down? Were you cranky? So basically the purpose of this journal was to examine your current nighttime routine in relation to the number of hours of sleep per night. So we took these results and structured this presentation around information to best cater to your needs. So the results of this sleep journal was each student in this class only gets about 6 to 7 hours of sleep per night for at least a week. And then each student reported feeling tired or groggy throughout the day. So now we're going to administer a pretest. This pretest only consists of 10 questions, multiple choice, true and false. They're not graded or anything like that. It's just basically to test your knowledge prior. Okay, so by a show of hands, do you often feel tired and have little to no energy throughout your day? Okay. Are you getting at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night? So raise your hand if you are achieving 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Not most of us. So for some teenagers, this recommended amount is attainable. However, for some, this amount is really unrealistic and seems impossible. But what if we told you that there are a few healthy sleep hygiene practices that you may want to consider adding to your nighttime routine to get a better night's sleep? Let's find out how. But first, why do we need sleep? So sleep is an active period in which a lot of important processing, restoration, and strengthening occurs. I think when a lot of us think of sleep, we actually think of it as an inactive period, but it is an active period because there's a lot happening within us and inside our bodies compared to outside. So one of the vital roles of sleep is to help us solidify and consolidate memories. So this helps us with our long-term and our short-term memories. And lastly, our bodies all require long periods of sleep in order to restore and rejuvenate, to grow muscles, repair tissues, synthesize hormones, and so much more. Okay, so how much sleep is considered enough? So the recommended number of hours of sleep for different age group varies. So as you can see, newborns, infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and even school-age children, they all require more hours of sleep per night. This is because they're in this critical period of growth and development, so they require more hours of sleep. Compared to teenagers, young adults, adults, and seniors, they all require less hours of sleep per night. Although this is a recommended amount, recommended may not necessarily be considered realistic.
So something that's important to everyone's sleep schedule is sleep hygiene. But what is sleep hygiene? Sleep hygiene is a variety of different practices and habits that are necessary to have good nighttime sleep quality and full daytime alertness. Obtaining healthy sleep is important for both physical and mental health. It can also improve productivity and overall quality of life. Everyone from children to older adults can benefit from practicing good sleep habits. So in the picture on the right, you can see it shows a couple examples of what can contribute to healthy sleep. So sleeping in silence and in the dark, giving up caffeine and energy drinks, sleeping on a firm, level, and comfortable bed, and don't use your computer to watch videos or play video games too close to bedtime.
All right, so now we're going to have you guys get into groups of 2, more specifically with someone around you. What you're going to do is brainstorm ideas and actions that you can do to improve on your sleeping habits. Also, write down at least 2 actions you would be willing to eliminate from your nighttime routine that can help you improve your sleep schedule. They would do their activity.
So now that we've brainstormed a couple ideas of what can help you improve your sleep at night, this is a video to give you a couple more ideas of what can contribute to a better night's sleep.
51 sheep, 52 sheep, 53 sheep. Ugh, why am I still awake? Oh well, at least it's only 3 a.m. We've all been there. Ugh. Getting quality sleep is easier said than done. So today, we're going to show you how sleep is tied to your physical and mental health. We're also going to show you 5 easy ways to get that refreshing sleep that you need. We all know that we feel groggy and slow when we don't get enough sleep. But that's not the only effect lack of sleep has on our bodies. In our episode on sleep and creativity, we told you that not getting enough sleep over an extended period of time can lead to high blood pressure, which can also lead to heart attacks and aneurysms. But it's not always easy to try to get that good sleep. Some nights, you stay awake worrying about that presentation that you have to give first thing in the morning. And some nights, you just can't get comfortable. And then other nights, you fall asleep just fine. But then you wake up every 15 minutes worrying that you're going to miss the bus. All right, there's no one way to guarantee that you're going to get awesome sleep. But we do have 5 easy tips and tricks to help you get on the path towards good sleep hygiene. Step 1, develop a relaxing bedtime ritual. When you think about it, we all learn to sleep by routine. When we were really little, our parents gave us baths, read us books, tucked us in, got us that extra glass of water, all in the name of good sleep. Now that you're older, you're going to have to develop a routine of your own. Whether it's a cup of decaf tea and a chapter from a book, or a bath and 15 minutes of mellow yoga. Of course, there are some activities that should be kept out of a bedtime ritual. Don't drink alcohol before bed. It might help you fall asleep, but chances are you'll wake up in the middle of the night. Don't exercise 2 hours before bedtime. Sure, it gets your blood flowing, but it'll amp you up mentally. Step 2, maintain a regular sleep and wake schedule. Now, you don't have to wake up at exactly 7:02 and then go to bed at 10:53 every night. That's a bit on the neurotic side. But do try to wake up and go to bed at generally the same time 6 days a week. According to doctors at Harvard University, this will help set your internal clock so that even on those rare days when your schedule is thrown off, you'll be able to get right back on track and avoid what doctors call a sleep hangover. Step 3, stop watching your clock. Studies show that people who constantly look at their clock are less likely to fall asleep easily. Why? Well, laying there thinking, it's 11:03, I have to be up in 6 hours and 57 minutes, stresses you out. So try to keep some distance between you and that alarm clock. That way, those blinking numbers will quit knocking you, and you'll sleep easier. Step 4, create an optimal sleep environment. A Mayo Clinic study found that people sleep best in dark, quiet, cool environments. With all the benefits of sleep, it's worth investing in blackout blinds, comfortable earplugs, and a fan or air conditioning. The more comfortable you are physically, the better you'll sleep. Step 5, unplug. Make your bedroom a tech-free zone. I know, but research shows that electronics interfere with sleep because it's easy to get distracted by them. Checking your email right before bed could add more stress. Watching TV or movies makes it harder to sleep, and Getting sucked into, say, Pinterest right before bed could keep you up for hours. Ooh, I like that. I like that too. Oh, that's pretty. Let's recap. Today we learned a few more reasons why you need good sleep. We also taught you 5 simple ways to help you improve your sleep health. Next time you're stuck tossing and turning, try to develop a ritual. Maintain a schedule, stop clock watching, trick your bedroom out, or unplug. It could help. From all of us here at Wellcast, sweet dreams. Tweet us at WatchWellcast.
So now that we've watched the video, it also discusses factors that interfere with healthy sleep, and here we just have a list of a couple more. First off is sleep disorders, so things like insomnia, narcolepsy, or restless leg syndrome can interfere with healthy sleep. REM sleep problems, psychiatric disorders, your sleeping position, your timing of when you're waking up and going to bed, any medications you take, your diet, if you have a poor bedtime routine, stress, and other existing medical conditions can all interfere with a healthy night's sleep.
All right, so it's very important for you to develop and have a routine. A routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed or a fixed program. A nighttime routine are the things that you do right before you go to bed. For example, you might drink hot tea before going to bed, or you read a book. There are many benefits. 3 big important ones are you will have a more restful and higher quality sleep. You will be able to tackle the morning in a smoother and more productive way. Also, your brain will be sharper throughout the next day. So these are just a couple of examples of evening routines. As you can see, they are similar. Depending on the person, and what you do will depend on what your routine looks like. Here are 2 more examples. All right, so now we're going to have you build your own routine. You're going to use the worksheet that we handed out to you. It is okay if your routine changes day to day, because different activities throughout the week and your homework load will change. So it's okay if there's a slight variation. Also, try not to cram a lot into this short amount of time. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. That can cause you stress and anxiety. Also, make sure you schedule yourself time to relax. This is the worksheet they would use, and they'd be doing their routine.
So in a behavior change model, we thought fit well with changing your sleep habits, and starting a night routine is the trans-theoretical model of behavior change. It's a set of 5 stages that progressively work up to an end goal of changing a poor health behavior to a healthier one. The main goal is to prevent relapse, which can be an outcome after these 5 stages, but following these easy steps can help prevent relapse occurring. During the pre-contemplation stage, the individual has no intention of changing their behavior. They don't see anything wrong with their nighttime routine, like if they're staying up late or if they're feeling unprepared for the next day, and they don't really want to change what they're doing already because they're comfortable with it and they don't see anything wrong with it. During contemplation, they realize that staying up late makes them cranky the next day. They feel disorganized and not prepared for the next day. They start to think about going to bed earlier and forming a bedtime routine. During preparation, the individual officially decides that something needs to change to improve their sleep habits, and they're thinking about the steps that they can take to start forming a night routine. During action, they begin to implement these nighttime routine steps into their everyday life, gradually adding more and more activities before bed to relax so they can come up with a complete night routine, and they begin preparing what they need to do for the next day. And finally, during the maintenance stage, they wake up feeling refreshed and well rested and prepared, and they're continuously finding things to add to their routine to get a better night's sleep. And now we're going to administer a post-test. It's the same test we took in the beginning, but now we're going to test to see how much knowledge you've gained and attained during this presentation.
All right, does anyone have any questions? All right, thank you and sleep well.